sweetheart, it's Bubby. Look forward to talking to you as usual. Lovely.
I definitely love being with them. But when we all got together and we did karaoke, that was one of my favorite memories. The other one was one of my other birthdays. We sat around the table and the kids imitated their parents.
That was at the old house?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the old house. And,
in the dining room.
In the dining room. And one thing I learned, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. And luckily, that's what we were able to do. We all laughed when they imitated us.
You know what was weird? It's weird that you have those, like, rooms, like the dining room in that house.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you never use that room.
In your old house?
Yeah, we always ate at, like, in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, because it was always a very comfortable, whereas the dining room was more formal. It's just if you had lots of people, your dining room had room for many more guests. But your kitchen area was always the more comfortable. A kitchen is always more comfortable.
Yeah.
It's more relaxing, and it was very cozy all the time. And of course, it was enough for your family. So those were enjoyable times, being able to laugh at yourself. And I get such a kick out of seeing all of you, how musical you are and how you enjoy dancing and singing, and that always makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And I always laugh at how talented you all are. And
you want to see a funny video?
And I'm the one without any talent.
You used to sing me to sleep.
No, right.
Lily
Lily,
Lily.
That's
I remember I always got very aggravated when you would sing that.
Right. I remember.
Look at this.
Oh
my God!
That's you.
I know, where was it?
It is. It's the cruise.
Oh, at the cruise. Oh, I don't know. See, those are the things I absolutely... I mean, you guys are so entertaining. You draw... Oh, yeah, I remember those. I know. It so just funny. Amazes me how you attract other people to you. They just are drawn to all of you, and it just makes me so proud. You just don't take yourself
so seriously. Yeah. And then other people realize that they don't have to take themselves so seriously.
It's true, and being the way I was, always shy, never able to be a center of any attraction. I couldn't even walk across the room if you were at one end and I was at the other, because I didn't like. I was just too shy to do anything, even when I was younger, and I had to stand up on stage with Pop-Up and speak. I couldn't do it, and your mom got up instead.
At where?
What was he speaking for?
I think it was at a school or something. I'm not sure exactly where, but I was never able to get up. Even in school, I hid behind anyone rather than stand in front of a classroom and stuff. So, I think that's what your mom taught all of you, is not to be afraid, that these experiences teach you to be better and get over shyness, because it stops you from, when you get older, it really stops you. Even now, I won't play any games like that I have to stand up and say something or answer a question. I don't like that. And so I give your mom credit because she always taught you to push through your fears and try different things and venture different things, because when you get older, you regret all of the years that you didn't try things, even traveling and stuff.
Yeah, Chandler and I were just talking about yesterday. Chandler asked me,
"What's your biggest fear? What are you afraid of?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Chandler's
answer was regret that, I didn't take enough risks in my life.
I agree with that. You know what? Life is not easy. Life is hard, but it has to be worth it. You have to, when you get older. I have many regrets not doing things, and that's one of my biggest regrets. When I listen to some people who traveled, who took chances, but I was raised that way. We weren't even allowed to learn to swim or do anything. We only, played stoop ball or something that you sat and not take any chances. And when I was married to Pop, he would have been able to travel, but I didn't want to. I was always afraid, and those are my regrets.
Were your parents like that?
Yeah, they never really took chances, even monetarily. My mom stopped my father from doing things. Fear of making a mistake. And I agree with you, Chandler. That is one of my biggest regrets. When I listen, like I said, to people who have traveled to this and traveled with their husbands when they were in the military and lived in different places. And also I regret that I worked as hard as I did at things and never had time. Of course, it was family. Family was my whole life, doing things for family. And I guess, like your mom always said to me, I guess I have a need to be needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's why I did what I did. But I'm sorry that I didn't venture to make more friends, because as I'm older now, I don't have old friends. I was busy working at the beginning.
But do you feel like, you had like a successful...
I had a successful business, and yes, I was successful at doing that. But it was 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And that was for, 30 years, 7 days a week. And then, of course, my dad came to live with me, and I took care of him, which I'll never regret. It heightened my opinion of my kids, Kenny and Donna. Loved him so. And I loved taking care of him. But between the business, 7 days a week for 30 years, and taking care of him, my life was gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it really was older. It was over. I never made the friends that people have in my building, friends from school and stuff like that I never kept in contact with. I was always busy. So I have many regrets now that I'm older, but...
So you think you would have rather have a less successful business, but allowed yourself more time to like explore your social, like what you wanted to do socially? Yeah.
Making friends or being with friends. The girls that worked in my store I loved. But they were store friends, and once the store was over, they went their separate ways. And
but so did you.
I did, but like I say, where did I end up? I was older. I didn't have friends to socialize with.
Why do you think you were working so hard?
I didn't know any other way. The girls I hired were not capable of doing the things I did. I weightlifted, and for that reason, another example, being shy. I was asked to join Senior Olympics in weightlifting. And when I was 50, and a trainer once said, "I've never seen anyone your weight lift them any height the weights as you do." I couldn't do it. I could not join the Senior Olympics, even though I knew how strong I was, because it was back to being center of attraction I couldn't handle. So even the things I was good at, I never was able to give myself credit for them. So, now that I'm older, I realize in life, what do I feel if I had to pass on to my grandkids and anyone, is pick the right friends when you're young, people that care for you and not jealous. Because like my mom said, you'll never be a friend will never be jealous. If they're jealous of you, they'll never be a true friend. They'll never be happy for you. Pick the right friends. Pick someone that you marry that truly looks out for the best for you, because that's so important when you get older. And the friends. Have a job that you truly love going to. And always look forward to something. Always look forward to having something that you're going to do. I think that's very important. Always, think before you do things. I always tell some of my kids, don't go to bars and drink and then drive. Better safe than sorry. Think before you do anything that might change your whole life.
But think before you do it, but still take risks.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to balance this Bubby needs to be cautious with
Yeah, take risks, meaning traveling to me is not a risk. Don't be afraid to do things or...
It's almost like you were perceiving something as a risk when you were younger that really wasn't a risk, but for some reason
that someone will laugh at me or I'll look stupid.
Yeah, you were very concerned with how other people would perceive you.
That I never had the confidence in myself. I never felt I was good enough. So I never took chances because I didn't want anyone to, perceive that.
If you took a chance and it didn't work out, then it would be perceived that you made a bad mistake, or you were silly for going off to another country and wanting to live there for a year. Maybe it didn't work out, and what that would look upon.
Yeah, I mean, even if I mispronounced a word, I can't just say no big deal. I can't. It's how I perceive myself and not being good enough. Even when I had the store and it was successful, I couldn't even give myself credit for that.
I mean, you were asked to do the weightlifting, that's the most, you were successful at this. We just want to show what you can do here. And you still, it wasn't that you weren't achieving. It was that you weren't comfortable achieving and
joining something. Yeah. Joining something that, I might not be good enough.
And where do you think that came from?
I think it came from my childhood. For instance, when I was in school and I was maybe not good at certain subjects, my sisters used to yell at me and saying, "You'll never do well. You'll never do well in school." It came from that. It came from, and I care for your grandpa very much, came from my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say pick the right spouse. Pick the right person that doesn't put you down, that loves you for you and wants you to achieve the best you can be.
Mm-hmm.
No
And also,
matter-
you said with like the friends, right? Because if someone's jealous of you, then they are going to put you down. They're going to,
they'll
but
never be happy for you. If you, let's say, achieve something, become a success at a business, they'll never be happy that you became a success of that. Or if sometimes if you meet someone later in life and you have a friend, they're not happy that you met someone because it's going to take that friend away from you. They're not looking out for what makes you happy or that you can be the best you can. You know, a friend would push you maybe to join a group with them or tell you to come with them and let's do this and make you feel comfortable being with them. Not that you're always uptight, that you're going to, they'll find out you're not as smart as they think you are. It's even games I play bridge. I love playing bridge. But any game I play, I like to be a beginner. I don't like to compete. Mm-hmm. Competing is just something I hate. You know, I like to
even
do
though
it
you've been
for the
good
fun.
at everything that you've done, pretty much.
I have, even playing ball and racquetball and tennis. When I took golf lessons, they couldn't believe I'm not a beginner.
Yeah.
But it's just, once it comes to a game, I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Like, the competing the failure is too much for me to handle. And that is my regrets, and not, like you say, of not trying and failing. It's okay, fail. You know, so what? So what? You learn more from failing, and you find out what you like and what you don't like. And as I said, whatever you do,
I think it's really important what you said, like especially early on, to like expose yourself to failure and rejection, or put yourselves in situations where you can fail and you can be rejected. Because once you realize that it has no bearing on who you are and your own personal value, and it only reflects just the situation at hand, it can push you in one direction or another. You learn from it, you can come back.
And not only that, you know, when you do things, and even if you fail, let it be worth it. You know, oh, but I did this and I might have failed, but what an incredible memory I have. You know, I went to a different country. It didn't work out. But when you get older, what an incredible memory that is, that you went to a different country. You might not have liked living there, but you helped people, or you helped, you know, build homes or do something. What a memory that would be. I don't have any memories. I don't remember. Whatever the reason is, I don't remember. I don't remember my childhood. I don't remember much. A lot of people, when they get older, remember the past and not the present.
Because their long-term memory is okay, but their short-term isn't so good.
And mine is more, you know, more the opposite. I don't remember.
But you remember, like, growing up, you said you was like 4 of you in one bed.
Yeah, but those are not, but I don't remember growing up with on a day-to-day basis doing things with them, other than pictures. I don't have them. I really don't remember growing up with my family. I don't remember my wedding.
At all?
No. Except the pictures I have. No, I don't remember my wedding.
You remember being happy?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I really, you know, my memories or more when my grandkids were born. You know, those were my happy memories. Luckily, I had a daughter like your mother who allowed me to be there with all of you, helping her raise the 4. But even that, I have many regrets because I looked at myself and what I needed. That's what your mom used to say, that I need to be needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, I used to go to Connecticut, and I never let her on her own. You have to back off. You know, your mother allowed me to come because she felt she was doing it to help me.
Mm.
But I didn't help her.
I mean, you certainly did.
I helped her physically, but you have to allow your children to learn their own, was how I was raised and what I did, and I made the decisions, or.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, they should have been on their own for a while and not have me around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was glad you were around.
well, when you got older a little, but when you were babies, I was the one that got up at night and brought it to your mother in bed. And, I made those decisions, and no, not right. You have to there maybe to help, but not how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. For me, it was a blessing, because that's what the joy of having the grandkids was my whole life. But
these are things that, like, some people, I guess, travel to a country and help out and it didn't work out, and they learned from it, and it was a failure they learned from. But you're also talking about things that you did and you learned from them. I wouldn't necessarily call them failures, but
yes, they're but that's what I can't let myself. I can't. To this day, I regret it.
Mm-hmm.
And angry at myself that I never knew what to look for. Your mother's talent in singing, I never pursued it. I didn't know.
It's not, that's her thing.
I know, but, parents help their children. I didn't know. So those are the things I regret terribly. Why didn't I? I should have. Whatever. So, yeah, try and I can't let go of the regrets.
What's so interesting again, though, is that, like, you're again, like, you're saying you have an issue, like, taking risks and getting in front of other people because you're afraid of failure. You're afraid of how other people will perceive you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's likely because the way that you are thinking of yourself is very much in these ways when, like, if someone else were to look at your life, they would say, like, okay, you had 2 successful children who gave birth to 6 successful grandchildren, a great family. You ran an extremely successful business. This is someone who used to share a bed with 4 of her 5 siblings, then ran one of the most successful clothing businesses in Baltimore, then stopped doing that, got offered to go to the Senior Olympics because you, like, put your heart and soul into everything that you're doing. You get a chance to, like, you're just, like, good at everything you pick up. And some people probably look at Renee Bernstein and say, like, Renee, she's so good at everything. She's been successful. She has a great family. And you look at yourself and you're like, I would have done all these things differently. And that's what you focus on.
I only look at my mistakes.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that tells her, how could you feel that way? Look what you have, what you've made of your life. You have 2 children that love you, grandchildren that are amazing, and ran not only one business, but there were like 5 stores.
Yeah.
That you were running and shopping, and I was the one that lifted the boxes. My girls never knew how to do anything. I was the one that
weightlifting.
That's where it helped.
And she dug up the whole. There's a the backyard patio. So you need to build a patio. Sorry, you say.
Yeah, we built a patio when we lived in Columbia, and we had to dig it up. It was clay. I had to use a pickaxe and a shovel. It's not the end of it. And put it in a wheelbarrow, and we had a hill. And I used to take it up the hill with the dirt in it and dump it. Bring it back. It took, I don't know, a couple of years. Yeah, it's not, I was doing it myself. Yeah.
With a pickaxe.
A pickaxe and a shovel. It was clay. And then
Clay's
when
tough.
I dug down deep enough, Pop-Up came in. He says, I think you, because we had to put sand in after that. I think you took out too much. I said, do I have to bring some back? And that's how our patio got built. I did all the
I
wall.
gotta see this patio.
I did all. Oh, we don't live in that house anymore. It was a beautiful patio. It was.
Who built the patio?
We did, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess maybe. I don't remember because it had wooden slats in between, and the center was the concrete. You know, it was concrete and then wood, and then we had wooden benches that matched the wood in the. It was beautiful. And then I used to, like I say, I mowed the lawn. I wallpapered. I never knew how to wallpaper. I wallpapered rooms and a ceiling. Don't ask me how. I did all the wallpapering and and that.
And then you went to was it Uncle Kenny's bar mitzvah, and your sister was like, "Your arms look like a man's."
Oh, right. When Uncle Kenny got bar mitzvahed, I had a sleeveless dress, and my sister said to me, "Oh, your arms are disgusting. They look like a man's arms." I had so many muscles.
Yeah.
I really was very muscular at the time.
Well, yeah, you just spent like 3 years pickaxing your backyard.
Right. I'll never forget the time when I lived with my sister in New York. They were changing a refrigerator downstairs, and two guys were lifting it. I said, "Do you need help?" They laughed. And they didn't realize how. And then I took one end, and I went, "Oh my God!" And we were able to go up the steps. I helped them up the steps
With a fridge?
with a refrigerator. That was very funny.
It's like two guys on that end, and you're on the bottom. You're just helping.
No, I think one was at the bottom, but I helped the bottom one lift. You know, it made the difference. Yeah, because they saw some, thin. But I was.
Have you always been that way? Just
muscular?
Curious and willing to just get your hands dirty and
Yeah,
figure something
yeah.
out.
Mm-hmm. I always
a lot of
liked.
people would say, a lot of people are fearful of trying in that way, right? They I can't never figure out how to do a patio or use a pickaxe or.
Well, I don't know if I figured out how to do it, but I was, I knew I had to dig it out. Dave told me how, just start digging. So I
like holes.
I didn't know when to stop. I kept digging. But I always liked physical work. I always liked, and the one thing I have to say I loved about myself was my ability to build muscle. Yeah, but I couldn't go further with it. It was like, for me, it felt
Physical muscle
good.
or mental muscle?
Physical.
But in order to build physical muscle, like you are working even now. You're like always, I have this to do, I have this to do. Like you never you're never relaxing, or relaxing for you is working.
Right.
So that there is that mental sort of muscle of like.
I mean, that's the grit, for you to be able to wake up every day, 7 days a week and go to work. I mean, that's a muscle and
But
an amazing feat.
Yeah, even now, like I would like to help people. I love organization. I would love to have a job organizing people, going into their apartment and organizing. I had a job like that with a woman that was great. And of course it helped me financially a little bit. Not that I got paid that much, but I liked being with her, and I did her filing, and I emptied her closets, and got rid of a lot of stuff and organized that. And
what do you think you like about organizing?
it just to see things in the right places. And I kind of have, and this friend of mine that always compliments me on my ability, I always helped her because she felt she was always disorganized. I just feel that things are in the right place. And I like doing that. I like helping people in that way. But on the other hand, I can't put up a sign. Interesting. I can't put up a sign on my bulletin board saying anyone needs me to help them organize closets or kitchens. I don't want to. 2 reasons. First of all, I don't know who apartment I'm going into. I'm not sure I want to. And secondly, I don't want people to think of me as, she has to work. She has to menial work of helping people, organize. Even though it's, to some people who are not organized, it's not menial work. Yet
you've already
as just like a chore.
Yeah,
that
that it's not an intelligent type of thing to do. Yet when there are businesses where people come in and organize houses, I try to apply for that. However, back to driving, they said that you'd have to take a car to Virginia or Washington, and you'd have to do it on your own. That ended it because I won't drive.
But I mean, first of all, there's like a whole Netflix show, Marie Kondo, which is like literally about organizing. It was like one of the biggest Netflix shows, like went viral because people don't have that.
Right.
Like, I'm glad I live with Chandler. He's very organized, but like there's a lot more people like me who I'm just like, I don't know. I can't even imagine what we got. So many things here, and Chandler's good at keeping it looking not cluttered. But I have no idea where to start putting things. You know
exactly.
And like you've in your head already decided how other people are going to perceive this, and likely you're wrong.
I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying, but a lot of the people in my building, for instance, have college degrees. I never went to college. Which I don't like to admit.
Never went to college, but ran like a super successful store. Opened 5 branches. Like, it has nothing to do with that.
Right. I can never compliment myself on what I've done. It's what I haven't done.
Yeah.
And that's my regrets. Too late. But
wouldn't you always have regrets?
Will I always have it?
I mean, even if you chose a different path, you would still have regrets.
I think people,
because if you didn't spend as much time with your family,
I think people always regret certain things. For instance, if you, God forbid, you drink and you get into an accident, because of it, your whole life is never the same if you, God forbid, hit someone or, I guess no matter what field you're in, you'll always have regrets. But my regrets are, like I say, like you, not trying things, not venturing to do things when you're capable of doing them without the fear, because you'll have memories. Many of them can turn into great memories of if I went traveling with Pop-Up when he was in the military. Might not have liked traveling with children or something, but my gosh, look at all the places we could have seen, whereas people in my building only talk about where they've been, and then financially I couldn't do it anymore. Once I got divorced, that was the end of it.
Let me ask you a question, because Chandler and I just had a conversation on Friday night with somebody. They're a teacher, and they don't like living in DC, and they don't really enjoy their job, but they are very passionate about the cause of like teaching and like contributing to the less fortunate, and like, getting their hands dirty in the sense of like getting into like the areas that like need more resources and being a teacher there, right? And they were saying like I have one more year or 6 months or a year or something, and then I have to decide, am I going to stay in DC? I don't like DC. Am I going to go to New York, or do I go to Rome? And Chandler and I were like, they're 23 years old, this person.
Gosh.
I was like, that's a no-brainer. And they're not talking about even living in, I mean, they're talking about living in Rome, but not
Just
long.
going there.
Yeah, like a year or something, right? And Chandler and I was like, that's a no-brainer. Go, I mean, like, do what you want to do. Go to Rome.
If you feel held back for whatever reason, like you're not allowed to go to Rome, like you are allowed to go to Rome.
Right. They were saying that they feel so much pressure that they need, like, they can't take time to themselves to like have, like, enjoy their life and learn about who they are. And they think that they need to, because they have a privilege and they come from a good place, that they need to like spend all their time helping the less fortunate people. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what Chandler and I were telling them, but I would love to hear your advice to someone who's saying this.
My advice would be grab it and run. You know, as long as you have no obligations, you're not married, you have no one to answer to. And if you can afford it, of course, you know, you have to be able to, because as I said, if I had to, let's say, do something after my kids were grown and I was still physically able to when I was 50, 60, I would have gone and helped people build homes or less fortunate. I would love to have helped. You know, do
interesting.
Like that.
You're saying they could, if they want to fulfill this like mission of helping people, they could even go somewhere and help people in somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know why he'd pick Rome or something, but it could be
their family's from Rome. That's why.
Well, then try it. There's no reason. What is your reason not to?
Well, because they feel it. They feel selfish doing that and not spending their time helping people.
Well, I thought they were going to go to Rome to help.
So, well, the overall concept is like, do I do something? I'm not enjoying myself here, but I'm like, I think I'm contributing to the solution to some issue here. Being a teacher, helping the less fortunate, right? But the other side of it is like, but I personally would much prefer to leave DC. I would prefer to go to New York or Rome and like take a year and, you know, but I would feel guilty doing that.
But that's going to stop him from doing it. And then when you get older, you'll regret feeling guilty about doing it. 23 years old, 25, 20s, with no obligations, is the time to do things. It's the time to venture, to find a job. How many people have a job that they don't like, that they go every day of their life and not be happy they're going? That's the biggest mistake you can make, because once you get married and you have children, it's very hard to change and to make, because then money gets in the way and you have to decide. I remember when I divorced Papa, we went to a counselor. Her name was Jane, and we were friendly with her. And she said she will not see me until I physically moved out of the house and left Papa. And she said, when you do leave him, I don't want you to find someone. I want you to find out what Renee is all about first. Find out about you and what it is you like and what type of person you feel you are. Because if you meet someone else, then your life will be trying to doing what they want to do and not what you want for yourself.
So
I never did it. I never took her advice. You know, because I had the store and then my father, and I felt obligated to stay there. I never found out about me.
So I guess I'm curious why, you didn't have an instance when you were younger where you felt like you just kind of got caught up in things. You got married, you started the business, and you hadn't taken that time beforehand.
Well, the business didn't come till later.
Okay.
No, when I was raised, I was married at 19. You get married, and then you have your children, and that's your life.
When did you have your first child?
I got married at 19, and she was born at 21. I was 21. I don't regret that. I don't regret having children when I'm younger, because I think when you get older, you feel that, I hadn't had a vacation, I raised my children, and you can't feel, well, when I'm younger, I want to live first and then have my family. Because once you have your family, you want another vacation. And
Wait, sorry, I'm not following.
Well, when you're young, you have more patience. When people feel they want their career first, it's very hard to have a career and raise children, and because half people give them to nurseries or other people raising them and stuff like that. So I don't regret that. I feel when you have them young, when you're still young, when they get, they're on their own, when they're teenagers and everything, they're on their own, and you can look for a career at that time. I'm not saying don't have a career. Let's say you're an accountant, and you, well, a woman more than a man, but you get your children in their teens, you can still work part-time as an accountant. I never had a career. I never had anything, and even the business was something I grew up in. I didn't know any other thing but the business. I swore I'd never go into retail. But I was pushed into it, and, then it became successful, so...
And then it became too successful where people started getting jealous of you.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Can I put something in here? Like, my thought is likely a lot of your fears and a lot of your insecurities are likely shared across your siblings as well, because of you guys had similar upbringings, especially the type of upbringing that you guys had. And that makes it like, from an outside perspective, you are like a self-made success.
Well, so is my older sister.
Sure, I'm sure she is.
Because she had a phenomenal, her business, they named the street after, him. So she had many stores. They own buildings in Brooklyn, New York. They owned stores, and they owned the whole building. They opened up stores in the island, bigger than Barney's. They were very, very successful. Why should we credit my one store?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this, like, it's unfortunate that you're going through this and it feels as though you've internalized some of this jealousy. But one of the first things you said, the first thing you said is that you never be friends with someone who's jealous of you. And even the smaller successes that you've had, people have been putting you down. Even like big, even
your siblings.
Yes.
Even your siblings.
Yeah.
And like even from starting in school, you get something wrong, they put you down.
Right.
Likely you get something right, they don't say it's good. They'll be like, oh, but it wasn't as good as it could be. You dig up the backyard. Oh, you dug up too much. You did too good.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have this successful business. Oh, we want more of that. Like, there's all these things, and now you're internalizing. Like, it's from an outside perspective. You talk about this. I know you have regrets. I know you have like your own. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. But you just have to know that from an outside perspective, all these things sound like huge successes that other people are jealous of.
Well,
even if they were successful too, successful people also get jealous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My partner was a businessman, and he always.
But you see that, like, okay, your partner's a businessman. He must have seen potential. He, wants to go into business with you. you didn't even see probably potential in yourself. You're just like, I'm running a business. And then this successful person says, oh, I want to be with you.
Yeah, but I was partners with him. We opened Body and Soul at that time. So
Yeah.
he knew I was a worker.
Right. He knew.
Yeah, he knew I was
He probably
a
saw
worker.
something in you didn't.
Oh, yeah. He
Also
always...
with the person who wanted you to do Senior Olympics.
right.
Like,
right.
same deal. It's just like a story of like, you're clearly very special. You're clearly like very driven and you work hard and like you don't give yourself enough credit. And then other people who see potential every day. You think your business partner didn't see other people who he could have gone into business with? That person who asked you to do the Senior Olympics, like, probably saw people of your age working out all the time and was like, that's the person that I want to be with, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So
not a coincidence,
the bottom,
is what I'm saying.
yeah, I guess so. The bottom line is, you know, it's too late for me. I don't think I'll ever change. And, you know, feel bad or feel secure in what I do. So, you know, my lessons to younger people are, yes, take chances, to especially a guy 21 years old, 25 years old. You know, try different things that you find jobs that you look forward to every morning. You get up, and I did have that at the beginning because I loved working with the women. I loved getting up in the morning and going to the store and seeing them, and we used to have breakfast in the morning with some of the other merchants, and we used to sit and laugh, and yeah, those were happy times.
Where are these ladies now?
Oh, the ones that work for me?
Uh-huh.
Once the store closed, they went their own ways. You know, it was interesting that one of them I was friendly with. We used to like to go antiquing. And I used to like to go dancing. Not that I was a good dancer. I mean, Pop-Up used to say, you're not following the beat. I said, Dave, I don't hear a beat. And I don't. I mean, when I played guitar
Following your own beat.
Right, I played guitar for my father-in-law, and he really liked me. He had a hearing aid, and I started singing and playing guitar, and he goes like this, and he turned off his hearing aid. It was very funny.
But you also did belly dancing at Uncle Kenny's bar mitzvah.
No, it was not
Sweet
Uncle
16.
Kenny's. No, it was your mother's Sweet 16. I think she never liked that.
So you're saying
I took
it's
belly
just-
dancing lessons at one time. Yeah, but I couldn't.
Wasn't there something where you were on a table? Is that what you were just talking
Belly
about?
dancing on the table.
No, I
It
don't
was
think
Donna's
I did that.
birthday, or
She has Sweet 16.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I don't think it was on a table.
She thinks it is.
No, it wasn't on a table. It was not.
Some sort of platform.
I don't think it was. I don't think so. I think it must have been the dance floor.
With
But
a
I
cage
could
around
never
you.
coordinate the clicking with my movements, so I can only do one or the other. When I worked for the Rouse Company, that was the story. Oh, I never got on a table, but it was fun because I never drank. And they had a party, and they had punch. I thought it was punch, but I guess it was something in there that was more.
Yeah,
and
alcohol.
you know, so you don't look silly. I'm holding a glass, and these are all executives there, and I got high, and I started dancing with a lot of the top executives and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I probably could have gotten up on the table and danced and stuff like that. But yeah, I would take a drink only to lose some of my inhibitions, only when I'm at a party or a bar
which was
mitzvah.
probably very nice for someone who was typically doesn't want to be the center of attention.
Right, exactly.
does
And I was
remove
so
that.
happy. You know, I had such a good time, dancing with people, asking them to dance and stuff
So why
like
didn't
that.
you drink more?
I had no reason to, I guess.
Took a drink
Never.
before this.
Well, I had no one to drink it with. Yeah. I had no one
PB
to,
whiskey.
like I say, when I go to bar mitzvahs or weddings, I'll have a drink because I'm with people that I know. But just to go to a bar and drink, and I have no
No,
reason.
with people you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to be with someone. Just to know I want to get up and dance with them and know I'm not a good dancer. I mean, Dave put me down. Yet, when I used to go dancing with my friend, I never finished the story with my friend. We used to go dancing to the singles dance and stuff like that. The guys used to, oh, you're really a good dancer. Yeah, I can follow, but I don't hear the beat. meaning that if it was a cha-cha or something like that, and it's bum, 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 or something like that, if I lose my step or talk to you and I forget what I'm doing, I can't get back to that beat. I don't hear it. You know, in my head, I don't hear. So when I used to go dance, so I had a friend that we used to go antiquing with, and after the store closed, I was still friendly with her. And one day she calls me, and she says, "Oh, she says, no, I don't like to go dancing." She was a good dancer. I said, "Harriet, I'm not a good dancer. I don't mind asking people to dance because at least I'll learn how to follow and stuff like that." I wasn't interested in meeting them. But
you just use them for their dancing skills.
Yeah, just to dance with them.
Savage.
Right. And so one day she calls me on a Sunday. She says, "Oh, you'll never believe where I went. My neighbor and I went to a dance." So, yeah, what I would tell younger people is take the chance, look for good friends. That is so, a spouse, a good job, things to look forward to. Yeah, sometimes there's an old saying that, what is it, that youth is wasted on the young and experience on the old. Mm-hmm. And that is true. You know what, when you're young, enjoy what you're doing, even when you have children and it's a hard day. Boy, the memories of you growing up and all of you, and the joy. Sometimes, in retrospect, your life was more enjoyable in retrospect than when you were going through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's true. You know, when I look back at going to your mom's house in Connecticut, boy, those were wonderful days. But I never looked at it at that time as such wonderful days as when I look back at them and I see having all of you was the biggest joy of my life. Yeah.
And go for some like Cape Cod situations. Where'd we go? Club Med?
Oh, Club Med. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And
then they're all grown and, you know, they go their own ways and stuff like that. And it's important. It's
very evident that you spend a large part of your life and your energy and focus on developing your family.
Mm-hmm.
You look at your grandchildren and the relationship that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just seeing everybody over here today and how, you know, Aaron was just here just because he wanted to see everyone. He wasn't even staying long, you know, but he just wanted to be here. You know, a loud call to Ari while we were here. We passed the phone around like.
And that's why I always say to them, watch who you're marrying. Make sure that the person you're marrying never enjoys your family as much as you do. I love to see...
Or not that they never... That they do.
That they do enjoy it. I love to see your family, your siblings, as close as you are. I hope when you meet someone that they want to be part of that. Mm-hmm. That they don't... Because it's easy when you have a spouse or wife that... or whoever that wants to be with her family, and you know, a lot of times the guy just goes along with it.
And as you were saying, not be jealous that, you know, someone else is taking away the attention in the relationship, but knowing that that is the best thing for them and wanting them to spend time with somebody else to be happy, even though it obviously, you know, has an impact on your relationship.
Right. If you meet someone, it shouldn't be someone that's needy. For instance, if you meet someone that wants to be with you, but knows you like being with your friends and going on vacation with your friends, I'd be happy for them. Go ahead, go. I think that's great. But you meet someone that's needy, they don't want you. They don't want to share you with. They see you close with other people.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Really. It's in the past, though. Yeah. we'll learn from it.
I did.
Yeah.
But
As long as
I got into that scenario where I was with someone that I cared so deeply about, and didn't even realize how much energy they were taking from me, and they weren't happy when I was spending time with my friends. It was time. It was time away from her. It was a selfish thing.
Exactly. And to me, if I care for someone, I want them to be happy. And if that makes you happy, fine. You can have somebody that is so needy that you bring them their own. You have to be happy with yourself. Like, one thing I can say I'm happy with, I'm happy by myself. I don't mind living where I'm living and having, playing my games or doing what I do or reading or going to the gym or taking a walk. I'm not unhappy being with me.
It's amazing.
But
and who you are also, when you say you're alone, like physically maybe, but you do have people who care very deeply about you, and you know that, right?
oh yeah, in fact, I go down for brown bag lunch. I sit with people. I play hand and foot canasta. They have a talk group Saturday and Sunday morning. I make an effort to go down to sit with a group, about 8 people. She's really very, very sweet and nice and easygoing. And I'm teaching her to play rummikub.
Nice.
And I love being with her. It's really nice. So I find I'm pushing myself more to be with people. So
That's great.
So
You're
that,
taking chances.
right.
Something that
Risks.
you
That
could
I
do when you're
wouldn't-
younger. I think even young.
you're
We
doing
were at a
that.
party the other day. Chandler and I were saying hi to people. People were like, "Wow, it's so great that you guys just say hi to anybody." It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
It's something younger people can do. Older, doesn't matter, right? People just want
Yeah.
to be
No,
friendly.
I try to,
It definitely
be
seems
friendly.
like you are putting yourself out there
A
and
little
taking,
more. Yeah.
taking
So
the risks that you feel like you weren't taking before.
yeah. So in a way, I'm happy that I'm not her friend anymore. It's not a.
It's hard to cut people out of your life, but you're doing it because you know that they're having a negative impact. I think
Yes.
there's so many people who keep people around in their life because they're scared
Yeah.
to cut them out of their life, but there's a power in recognizing that someone is taking too much from you and not respecting you as a person, and being able to cut someone out of your life is a hard thing to do, and the fact that
Well-
you're able to do that, I think, is also
Well, I think I cut her out of
incredible.
my life mainly because I feel I'd never be relaxed, afraid I'd say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. So, I'll find other people. If not, I'll have acquaintances and
You'll find other people.
yeah.
I just want to get a couple quick things off, but I can see the people out there looking inside, seeing what's going on. So I think maybe we should
Yeah, I think
include
so.
them. But just a couple rapid fire questions for you. One simple thing that people can do to stay more organized. What would you say it is?
I would say every time you take off your clothes, hang them up immediately. Because it's better to spend 5 minutes putting things away every day than at the end of the week looking at it and having to say, it's going to take me 2 hours to organize this and do my washes and do that.
Yeah.
I take my clothes, if they're dirty, it goes right into the washing machine. When the washing machine gets full, I start it. Every
You do that
night.
sometimes, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every night,
You learned
every,
that from her?
yeah.
What?
You learned this trick from her before?
Starting the
The
wash?
washing machine trick?
Maybe. I don't know.
And every night, well, mine is right there.
Yeah, so is ours. Right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
and every night, like I say, rather than throw it on the floor, put it on a hanger, hang it up, fold
like
it,
that.
put it away. My house I never had a cleaning girl. I don't know what she would do. My house is organized. It's organized all the time.
Another quick question. Staying in shape over your whole life. One important tip that you would give.
Exercise all the time. Build up your stamina. Stamina is, when you get older, when I see the older people in wheelchairs and not able to walk and stuff like that, compared to the ones that have always been active, you build up your stamina.
How did you do it? How did you build up your stamina?
By constantly being busy, wallpapering, building, doing the backyard,
carrying boxes,
carrying boxes,
doing the dishes.
Right, doing
Everyone
the
should be pickaxing the backyard.
I'm imagining you're like Mario, like when
years.
Mario gets like the big hammer in the game, she's like, dong, dong, dong.
Yeah, I mean, you build up your stamina.
But you're talking about like energy stamina, not as much like running long distances.
Yeah, well, I don't think long distance running is.
But just having the energy and like the muscle stamina to be like walking around and mobile.
Right. It constantly, if you sit and do nothing, like I'm never tired. I can get 2 hours sleep or 8 hours sleep. It makes no difference. But if during the day I lie down to read, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in your mom's house, from morning to night, I can keep going.
Oh, yeah, you'll find jobs that don't even exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be, I'm going to do this. I'm like, I didn't even know we had a back staircase. You're like, well, I'm cleaning it. So.
Right, because even today I was waiting for Kenny. He didn't come. I said, let me sweep that well out so you don't get water in your basement.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't even know I had a well. You're like, well, I just pickaxed it earlier today. So now you have a well. I'm going to clean it.
Right, exactly. You know what? I
think the endurance that you've been able to develop over time, not only through your exercise, but through getting up every morning, going to your business, you have this mental strength that a lot of people, they come home at the end of the day, they're like, I want to work out, I want to do things, but I'm just can't push myself to do it.
Right, exactly.
Seems
Whereas
like you've
I
been
don't.
able to condition yourself over time to just, doesn't matter if you got 2 hours of sleep that day, you're still going to do what you have to do.
Right, exactly.
My grandfather used to say, you wake up every morning and you eat your Cheerios. And that's what he used to do for 40 years before going to work at the NSA. And that was his way of saying, you just have to get up every morning and eat your Cheerios and get up and go do your job. I think that speaks to that.
And you build your body that way. If you're used to sleeping till 12 o'clock or something like that, that's what you'll do. I'm used to being up early, and I don't like to lie in bed because then I'll lie and think, and I don't want to lie there and think too much. And I just get up and happy to get up.
Back to the exercise. I mean, were you always weightlifting your whole life, or you didn't even get into that until later?
No. I didn't start weightlifting probably until after my kids were grown. And it's muscle retention, too. I think that, what happened, how it started is that I took care of my father. That's how it started. And I had a treadmill. And I used to just walk a little bit on the treadmill. And eventually, I built up my stamina and walked 4 miles a day. I used to get up in the morning, get on the treadmill, and get on the phone and talk for an hour. And that was at 4 miles an hour. So I walked 4 miles before
at 4
I
miles
even.
An hour.
4 miles an hour for that hour on the phone. And if I came home, and of course I had the treadmill in my house, it was boring. I can't watch TV. But I'd get on the phone, and that passes time, and I'd walk. And even now, I find myself, when I'm on the phone, I start walking. And when I catch myself, sit down, I'm walking. I'm constantly.
I always walk and talk.
Yeah,
I go outside and I'm walking and talking. Yeah.
I know, I do. That's how I fell and hit my head that time. I walked into a dark room, and my foot got caught in the lawn.
Yeah.
You're right.
Here's the message you want to take away from this conversation: is always wear a helmet.
Right.
When
Right.
on the phone.
Yeah.
Sit
You never
down.
know when you're going to wander
Right.
into a dark room and tread.
Right.
He used to be on a treadmill. Once you got to actually move around in space, that was it.
Right. Right. Either sit or wear a helmet.
Yeah, with a light on it.
And keep a light on all the
A
time.
miner's helmet, because you don't know.
Pickaxe.
Right. When someone might come after you with a hammer.
Yeah, right.
Have
I'm
a
prepared for
pickaxe.
this.
Right. Right. So that's my lesson. Take chances when you're young. Find the right people in your life.
And be okay making mistakes, and
Yeah. Laugh at yourself.
Laugh at yourself.
Be able
Don't
to
take
laugh.
yourself too seriously.
yeah.
Be able to laugh at your silliness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like one thing Pop-Up said to me, and to this day I laugh, and he was right. He said, do you like cooking? No, I don't like cooking. And he'd say, she had 2 settings, high and off. If it wasn't off, it was burning. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And
You
that
and
is
Chandler,
true.
no, I'm just kidding. Chandler's a good cook, but he sets off the smoke alarm pretty
Yeah.
often.
I like to push
yeah.
the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I have to.
We took out our smoke alarm.
Okay.
It was
No.
digging too much.
Well, we also got a smoke machine, so that's unrelated, but we have a machine that creates smoke.
Well, that's my problem is I get distracted. And
Walking and talking.
no, if I'm even handling something else, it's always on high. I don't know how to turn something on low. And
Well, there's
let
a
it
setting
go.
for that.
Yeah. So I always started high. No, I'll remember. And I don't. I once went to play bridge and I cooked soup. Forgot about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought, oh my God, I'm going to go home. The fire trucks will be outside and the smoke alarms. Don't ask me how. It wasn't even on low. And thank God. It was still
fine.
It was still cooking bean
Was it
soup.
good?
Yeah, it was still okay. Bean soup. How that happened, I really thought I would talk about. Leaving the clubhouse one, I ran home.
Running at 84.
No, I was like 82.
Good thing you had your helmet.
All right, I think they're waiting to come in. Come on, I think that's the end.
Thank you, Bubby.
Thank you. Bubby.
Thank you guys for making my day very enjoyable.
And happy birthday.
Yeah, how old are you?
Thank you. 84.
48.
48.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell people 48, just reverse it if you know how. Yep. Okay, guys. Is it recording?
We have no plans to release this, so it's okay.
Hi, sweetheart. It's Bubby. Look forward to talking to you as usual. Love you.